Okay, so today's craft that I'm working on for my craft fair are these cute little snowmen that are Hershey bars. So it's a regular size Hershey bar that's inside of there, and I plan on selling these. I saw them all over the internet, and everybody said you could get these wraps or this little picture for free, but I was unable to find it. I ended up going, I think it was on Etsy. It's Lori Furnell Designs that did it. If you can see that, there's snowman wrapper instructions. I found it. I looked it up on Etsy is how I found it, and it cost me $1. And she actually has prints for, I think these are for the Rolos, and these were for the smaller size candy bars. And then one, there was another size. And I suppose you can make your own. And then of course there's a big giant one that you can use for, I think, popcorn, which would be really cute as well. So anyway, what I did was I took the size I wanted for these candy bars. I think it was the one with the 2, this one, and we printed them up on cardstock, cut them in half, and actually had to cut off an extra inch off of it. And then I had my son go ahead and take a tape, like one of the tape gun, and tape it down. I didn't want to glue it. I didn't want to use hot glue on the candy bar. So that's what he did ahead of time. So I've got a whole stack of those that I'm going to be working on. And then I sat down. I actually made myself a template. I did 6 by 6. She said 5 1/4 and 5 1/4, but I wanted to make sure that my hat fit on it correctly. And I actually used, no, I walked up with it. I used a shirt that I found. This is part of the sleeve, and I found it at a rummage sale for $1, and it's a nice, I don't know, button-down shirt. And so then all I did was I take my pattern piece and get rid of the sleeve, and I actually just cut kind of approximately right there for my measure, and then I actually rip it, and so it gives it a nice straight edge. So I got my hats made, and then I take it and rip it this way as well. It's a lot quicker and easier to rip it than to try to cut in a straight line, and fabrics will always cut in a straight line. So that's kind of a fun, easy way to get your, oops, that one I'm going to cut, get your hats made. So I made them ahead of time that way. The other thing I did was I went from the bottom and did about 1 inch in for the scarves. Not really exact on it. Eyeballed it and ripped a big long strip for those, and then use those for the scarf. So then all you have to do is tie the scarf around, and there's lots of things that I've seen people do on Facebook, but I just tied it. I wanted to keep it kind of simple. I don't want to do too many complicated things on this candy bar because I already think I want to sell, I don't know, I can't decide on the price. I want to sell them $3 a piece or 2 for $5, but I'm not sure I can get that out of it, so I don't want to do too much fussy. Otherwise, for sure, at least $2 a piece. Then I take my glue gun, and I actually figure out on my square which way is the stretchy way. So this one doesn't stretch very much, but this way you can see how far that stretches. So that's the way I'm going to do my hat, so I can stretch it around the edge. And so I fold this over and kind of hold it with my fingers and be very careful, and I hot glue that down since I'm not gluing directly onto the candy wrapper. Oops. And now I maybe made a mess. And this is going to be the bottom rim of the hat. So hopefully I didn't make too big of a mess out of that. Don't think it's sticking. There. Alright. So there is the rim of the hat. So I don't know that I'll step down. Sorry for the football in the back.
They don't even have a ball set in the one that's
It's a very interesting game, I guess. All right, so then I take one of my candy bars. Whoops, got the one with the scarf, and that's going to be across the top. I'm going to try not to show all that. And I'll go ahead and wrap it around to the back. And this again, I'm not putting it directly on my candy bar with the hot glue. I don't want it to. With that stretch, I'll just go ahead and stick that down. My hot glue only on the cloth, and then I can pull this up and down because it's stretched on there. Then I use this cotton thread. I don't know what it is, cotton string. I've got this big yarn thing of cotton string. I use that to tie the hat on. Oh, and I did find that my hat top is a little bit long, so I've been taking about an inch off the top. I should have maybe accounted for that. So there we go. Here is what that looks like. And I take my string and tie it around. I actually am going to take a jingle bell and tie it on this string. And it just slides right through that cotton string really easily. And I don't do anything special, I just tie a knot. I pull this tight, and in doing that, it just comes on the front and looks kind of cute. And then I tie another end to that knot, and then I tie a bow on it. And this is when I finally cut it off. I always like to leave my bows with one still attached to the string so I don't waste so much, and I will trim this side off a little bit. So there's my bow. I suppose you could leave it like that if you wanted. She suggested using fleece for the hat and scarf, but I actually kind of like this little plaid. So then I just cut really quick the tassel on the top. Just cut down, it's not an exact. Science to get that done. And I just cut around there. Nothing really fancy. You can make this part taller or shorter if you wanted. I don't know, this was the size. So I guess it was more like about 5 inches one way and 6 inches the other. That's how I made the hat. And then just kind of a boring part. So I have Band-Aids on my thumb because I cut my thumb making Thanksgiving dinner. That was fun. Actually, I think it was after that. Alright, there it is. There is my tassel. And you can just see. Sometimes I pull a little bit off. Okay. So, isn't he cute? So that's what I plan on selling for at least $2. I'm thinking like I said, I want to sell them for $2.50 a piece. So I'll probably put them $3. When I was first putting them together, my husband was like, "What are you doing? It's just a piece of paper around," but I think they are so adorable. That is my Snowman candy bars.